I don't know why, but we lost our only black ear shark catfish over there in the corner. The only thing I noticed is that it hasn't been eating the past few months, but sometimes fish take breaks for various reasons, especially the catfish. So I thought he was gonna bounce back, but no, out of the blue. I mean, he was still swimming around and behaving normally, and it's a very nervous fish, so he was doing pretty well for a high-strung, nervous fish that they are, not showing any stress or any kind of skittishness. Dora is getting ridiculous. He's scratching himself so badly. It looks like against the drain over there in the corner. It's been knocked out of the place and half pulled out of the drain, the screen. That probably Dora's doing. I don't know why it's taken forever for Dora to learn this tank. Anyway, I have not had very good luck with the black ears. Probably tried it 1, 2, 3, about four different times. The one that died was the best attempt, not the longest. The longest was the Pinocchio, if you remember. But he was a runt. Could never break 1.5 foot. But we fed him for about 10 years. But out of the potentially normal black ears with the potential to grow big, this has been the best attempt and the longest term attempt. We got 2 or 3 of them from predatory fins in 2021, just before they moved from Boca Raton to the New York City. So today is November. Today is November 2025. So we had this fish for 4 years. It would have done better if it wasn't for the fun-sized kuma, the Piraiba that used to live in this tank. And that Piraiba damaged the black ear's tail significantly to where it grew back about 2 times smaller than it should have been. But still, even after that, the fish was feeding fine and actually had very good appetite. So I don't know. It looks. I suspect something funny, something internal problem. It's never been sick before, and never showed any kind of problem before, except for its general skittishness, this is one of the most skittish fish in the hobby, I would say. Not the most, but one of the. Well, let me take him out and measure it up. See what we got in 4 years for growth. If it had good genes, I would expect it already to be 3 feet, if not 4 feet. Not 4 feet probably, yeah, 3 feet or 3 feet plus. It's been housed properly in large enough tanks. As babies, they grew out in 240, then 1800. And then the 4500. So space wasn't an issue. Never had a problem really feeding them. Or this one in particular, always ate very well. I would say aggressively. They're kind of predatory. They're nothing like the iridescent shark catfish. They're more of a paroon shark catfish, only with of a smaller stature and a smaller mouth. But other than that, and they look to be very strong swimmers, like paroon sharks, often open water pursuit predators, I would say. And they can stuff themselves also with food. So never had a problem there. No space problem, no food problem. So this is very strange. But like all of them, they're calls from the food fish farming in Asia, in Southeast Asia. So we don't get them from the wild. We get the refuse of various severity of inferior genealogy fish that are culled from the farming operations, so they don't waste their money raising subpar, slow growing or smaller growing fish. That's what happens with probably almost all or most of the farmed fish that's also sold in the ornamental fish trade. That's again my personal belief, and I don't have a direct proof. Of course, they don't come with a UPC code, but a lot of things are pointing to that hypothesis or thought of mine. Alright, once again, let me pull them out and see what we got. Okay, so I'll say tip to tip 26 inches or so, but its tail should be twice bigger. Really, it should go all the way to here. So if it wasn't for the tail accident, over 27, 28 inches for 4 years. Beautiful colors on, very iridescent. You can see that it's got a lot of paroon shape and body structure going for it. And being a predator, it's got aggressive teeth too for holding on to prey that it catches. There's 2 rows. It looks like 2 rows on the upper jaw and 1 row on the bottom jaw, at least in the front. All catfish have more tooth patches deeper in the mouth. Yeah, there is two rows here. Curved inside, fine teeth but very sharp. So as I said, always was a very nice feeder, fed very well. I guess we're gonna freeze him just in case. And feed him to the 25,000 gallons, cut him up. They also have nice extensions like paroons on their fins, but his has been probably beaten many times, beaten off by the tank mates. Which is no biggie. part looks a little funny with the holes below the bone. I don't know what this is. It's got the same thing right here, so that's normal. Right beyond the occipital, whatever you call this. How you pronounce the name of this bone? Something like that. These fish have some kind of sensory pores or slits. Interesting, never noticed it before. Not looking too bad for having not eaten in 2 months or so, or 3 months.